Dimp Digital presents Idle Game Chat.
Cool.
Hello, Apps here from Dimp Digital. Welcome to Idle Game Chat. This is our flagship video game podcast where we take you through the ups and downs of the wonderful world of video games. We're here on your favourite podcast app and YouTube, absolutely free. However, if you want to support this independent endeavour, then head over to patreon.com/Dimp Digital and join the community. Hashtag hand in pocket. Also, I should mention, in most weeks, you do get the podcast early. We've been moving our schedule to record on Fridays. Friday night, latest Saturday morning. You'll normally get the audio version of the podcast and the YouTube video go up in that period rather than Monday. All you guys listen on the free feed, you know that every Monday we kind of drop the podcasts on the main public YouTube and public podcast feeds. But the Patreon does give you early access. I've not written it down as a perk though, because it's just there's always a chance that you won't get early access. But I've got like a 99% probably since I started doing it. Obviously, if we record later, like we did for the Xbox showcase, the Xbox and Bethesda showcase, that was recorded on a Sunday after the event, and therefore the early access was a total of about 3 hours, so the value was slightly less, but generally you're going to get it early, and the bonus podcasts usually come early as well. So, little tickler there for those that are interested in those sort of perks, and you get to join the awesome community and help an independent podcast. Keep getting to these corporations. And at least they can talk without stumbling like that, so maybe I should shut up. Anyway, you're probably wondering why I'm just talking at the moment, or you're just seeing me if you're on the video version. We do have a episode coming. Adkins and I sat down to do Gaming's Most Wanted leaderboard, basically, which is a list of 10 games that the Dimp Digital crew as a whole are looking forward to. So a slight tweak from the hype list that we used to do semi-regularly. This is 10 games that everyone from the Dimp stratosphere has had input into, and the numbers have been published, and we've got the top 10. So we're going to talk through that. It goes on for about an hour and change, so you're going to be looking at that. In terms of the news, this was originally supposed to be Logan and I was going to get Logan on and talk about the week's news, and truncated, because I knew we'd already put in a solid hour and change. But to be honest, there's nothing going on. There's nothing of interest that I felt like I wanted to speak about. Logan's very much the same. And I thought, well, let's not force the issue. We've got something there for you guys. I'll just do a little intro, and then we'll pack our bags and walk away from it. So that's what's happening. This is just a way to transition into the main part of the episode. The couple of little housekeeping features that I wanted to just mention. Did we chart again in the Apple iTunes charts was the ask this week? Because I said last week we got to 169 on the episode. Well, we did. It was a bit low. I think it was like 239. So we're on the brink of falling out for last week's episode. But, we got in there 2 weeks in a row. That's good for us. Probably won't be in there next week, but we appreciate our small run in the GB video games category for Apple podcasts. Hall has had a Fantasy Gaming League game get scored and released and reviewed. Fire Emblem Warriors, Three Hopes, has come in and scored him a nice 80 in the Grand Prix. If you want to check out the Fantasy Gaming League, by the way, if you go to dimpdigital.com, it's not the best site because I don't really update it. Dave put all this effort into it to configure it all, and I've barely used it. But the Fantasy Gaming League standings are all on there in their own tab, so you can go and check and see how things are panning out from that perspective. And the last item I've got here, it says older legacy right, yeah, so those that have been fans or listeners or whatever you want to call yourselves for a long time will know that Idle Game Chat actually started maybe 6 years ago. We did a short run of episodes, kind of rebranded the Dimp Digital podcast into Idle Game Chat, and then that fell away. We stopped doing it. And then 2 years or so ago, just as the pandemic was kicking in, we rebooted Idle Game Chat, and this is what you've kind of been listening to since then. But there's older episodes that I've managed to procure the audio for, which I thought I had lost. So what I'm going to do is, over a period of time, I'm not going to bundle them all in there at once, and probably not week by week. I'm going to put these episodes into the public podcast feed. Now, if you're on YouTube and you're watching, it's in the playlist. You can go back and listen to these episodes. There's a big gap. I think it's 6 years or so. But for the podcast people, they are missing this sort of this legacy content, which isn't that related. It's the same sort of people that you've come to recognise, but it was a long time ago. So I'm going to put those into the main feed, and they're going to be dated on the dates they actually published. So when they appear in your feed, it will show as like 5 years ago. And, you can listen to it if you want, but if not, it'll just be a complete list for any new subscribers that we get into that feed. And then it means that Idle Game Chat, we've not kind of left our past behind. Can't shame that. We put some good effort into that. Don't know if they're any good. Maybe I should listen to them again. Anyway, you got a nice episode. Said Gaming's Most Wanted is coming your way in a moment. I'm going to hand over to myself and Mr. Adkins as we go through the top 10 most anticipated games for the Dimp Digital crew. So I will see you on the other side. Here we are then, back with the Dukes of Essex. Some people call us the Governors of Gaming.
The Governors.
The Governors of Gaming, Atkinson Adkins. I was thinking the other day, but it popped in my head, that name. I thought I might rename the whole lot that. Kill Dimp off and everyone becomes the Governors of Gaming.
Could. What we could do is, after Miller and Moriarty had their falling out,
yes,
they used to be called the two coolest dudes in gaming.
Wow.
So in video games, so we could nab that. The Cider Brothers.
Well, that's not very governor-like, is it? A governor would have like a nice whiskey, I think, or
true.
Some real hard-hitting liquor, but not fruit cider and an original cider. That's not very.
What would Paul Ince drink?
I don't know what Paul Ince would drink. I actually don't know. He probably doesn't drink. He's probably one of those. Don't like a beer. Just like splitting his head open and putting a bandage around it.
To the Americans, there is a footballer that became a manager and a soccer player.
Yep.
And he self-confessed his name as the Governor.
Apparently, because he called himself the Governor, that's why Fergie got rid of him. And Ferguson was the manager of Manchester United at the time. He went, he was like, I'm not having that. You ain't the Governor.
Imagine that. Out you go.
I know.
Brilliant.
Anyway, we're here to do what we used to call the Gaming Hype List. Has now been evolved into Gaming's Most Wanted leaderboard, where we talk about a list of games that we've ranked in terms of anticipation or most wanted. Slightly different formats. So previously we had, did we do 20 or 25 games before?
20, I think, yeah.
I mean, either one of those was too long. I mean, we were adding Toot on there. It was, it went on too long, and it didn't seem very tight. I was like, is that Gaming's Most Wanted, or just a list of games?
The list, wasn't it?
It's been reduced to 10. So, before I came on this evening, I was thinking maybe next time it should be reduced to 5. Really cut the Toot out. Really get to Gaming's Most Wanted, but we'll maybe tweak it in the future. So that's the first change. The second change is that we opened it up to other Dimpites.
We let the fucking scrubs in, didn't we?
Yeah, the losers got to vote in on this. So they all sent over their kind of list, and then I pumped it into a very clever algorithm, and it spat out the answers for me. But this is input from myself, from Adkins, from Adcock, Biff, Parky Hall, Salmon, Paper, Logan. That's quite a lot of input there, so expect a different list. And the third and final change is, I know the list because I like to put the things in order. Adkins doesn't. This will be a surprise to him.
Well, how are we doing this? 10 to 1?
Always start at the bottom and then work your way out. There is a danger, though, that you talk far too much about the crap at the bottom, and you get to the top and you're like bored and tired, and you think, I'm really excited for this, but I've spoken for too long about other games.
Good, it's coming out.
It's coming out. Bye-bye. But let's get into it. So, number 10. Now, this was actually a tie-break. Go on.
I'm just going to get my list up to see how different it is. From what I sent you, there you go.
I'm not going to reveal what other people's lists were. I feel like there's a patient and doctor confidentiality, so they can keep that to themselves. I may reveal mine at the end, just for a joke, but Adkins can also reveal his. But number 10 this was a tie break. There were 3 games involved, and again, we can't have a solution to break the tie breaks, which is, if you finish first on a list, you get an extra point essentially in the event of a tiebreaker, because that's the top daddy. So based on that, number 10 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, yeah, I suppose the Dimp gang are going to get that.
So this is interesting for one thing, because if we do the lists, we just put PlayStation games on there. That's literally that's all me and you were doing.
Yeah,
this would have never stood a chance. Now we've widened the scope, which is the right thing to do. We're getting little ticklers like this on here, and this it's an important game in the series, because after this they will be going on a year's hiatus. We're getting Warzone 2, but the next sort of mainline franchise version of COD won't be until 2024. By that time, it'll be under the Xbox banner for, formally, you'd expect. So this is like the end of an era almost.
It is. Do you think, are they still going to do like the free studio cycle, or meld it all?
Got no idea. I mean, I don't think Phil can say what they're going to do until they've closed it. I mean, this was a shock that this happened. That this is going to be the last one for... for 2 years. I'm not going to get one in 2023, but it'd be interesting to see, because the next one, you would think Phil might have had his fingerprints on it. So I'm interested to see how that plays. I mean,
done wonders for the Creed franchise, didn't it? That took a year. Well, that's because of the film, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what Creed was every single year for about 7 or 8 years. Yeah. And I used to moan about it every year, and then I bought it every year. So I was part of the problem. And then with Origins, they took a little break, and then took a break before Odyssey, and then another break for Valhalla, which I've been enjoying those a lot more because they're spread out. Saying that, I've been playing Valhalla for nearly 2 years now because of the content cycle. So I'm still playing Creed every year. Just that it's now it's the same bloody game. But Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, this is like the rebooted version of the Modern Warfare arc. So we had the first reboot came out in 2019. I played through that. I played through that new kind of story take and whatnot. This is
nothing to do with it's not a remake or anything.
No, the way I interpret it, and this is just from base knowledge and from playing the sort of reboot, is that there are characters that exist in both sort of arcs, almost, but they appear to be following different patterns and different, like the setting almost seemed completely different. I don't remember a lot of it, and to be fair, with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, we had that no Russian level.
Oh, pop that in at the minute.
Well, that wasn't going to make it for a multitude of reasons. One being because of the situation in Ukraine, and two, they probably weren't planning to put it in anyway, because the setting for this I expect to take a different direction. So it'd be new and fresh, but it will be more Call of Duty. My personal view is that with the buyout, the acquisition looming, and again assuming all goes well, that's going to close perhaps early next year, springtime. By the summer, this might be sitting on Game Pass.
Yeah, cool.
I'm not going to pay. It's going to be a test for me to pay £70 for a campaign, because that's what I'll play it for. But people like Parky, people like Logan, they're all in on Call of Duty, whether it's the franchise releases or Warzone. And they're the ones excited for this, so they've got to come with the standard multiplayer and some zombie modes to boot as well, and be the last one we'll get for a couple of years. So important to some people.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I want to play them actually, but I'm waiting to. I don't think I'd purchased it. I remember I bought Black Ops 4. Just I think it was like a random Black Friday sale. I was like, fuck it, I ain't played one for ages. I'm gonna get it. I played it for about 2 hours. Never picked it up ever again. That was it online only as well.
Oh.
No campaign.
There is part of me that when they inevitably put all the Call of Duties on Game Pass, I'm like, should I just play all the campaigns over like
every
5 years? Just play like one every 2 months or something.
Quite enjoyable. Yeah, for what they are.
Chuck it on stream or something. Little project.
There's one that had like fucking Conor McGregor in it. And
Lewis Hamilton and Jon Snow.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And
Kit.
Was it? What's his fucking name? The sex
Spacey. Is that alleged? Are we supposed to say alleged for that, or is that been confirmed? He's actually over here, isn't he? Facing more charges. So
he is.
Not looking good.
I think he's
Is he confirmed?
Is he granted bail over sexual assault?
So still
Well,
alleged.
yeah, still alleged, but come on.
He's the writing on the wall. But,
Barrymore's brother.
yeah. The yeah, I'll tell you, this won't have those stars in it, I don't think. But
No. Little Troy the Boy turned up in one of them recently. I'm surprised
Did
they
he?
don't go for that sort of ilk. I can't remember what one that was.
no,
Might have been Infinite War. I forget. What's it called?
we don't know, do we?
No, don't know. But yeah, I assume they get. Like, obviously, that is it. Price, the geezer with the hat.
That's it. So Price is in it. The old boy.
Yeah.
He's in it. So the only reason I bought not the only reason. One of the reasons I
it
bought
looks really-
the reboot in 2019 was
Really good
because
marketing ad.
the pre-order at game come with a little Price figure. Because I've got him somewhere
That's
tucked away in a
quite fun.
drawer.
Well, that's the thing. That the marketing for that game was very good, and it really did sort of hype it up. There, even though I was considering buying it, I never did in the end.
No.
But I'd still like to play. But it definitely was the reboot that you'd wanted from a COD game.
Yeah.
And it looked like an interesting setting as well, being a fact in London, boys, isn't we?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah,
That's number 10. So already
10.
an upset for many that are just interested in
Yeah.
PlayStation games, seemingly. Number 9, more up our alley. Low though for us, and I think there's going to be some hurt feelings.
uproar.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth
Oh,
just scraped on the list.
great. Good. Oh dear.
Wow.
9. I'm trying to think of the others. I would have thought Salmon would have that high paper. Yeah, supposedly. Oh, I don't know, Josh. Mind you, didn't play 15, did he? Is he more of an old school 15? He
Yeah.
likes 10.
He's a fraud.
Plays that
He's a
10.
fraud.
He's a fraud. No, I've got to say, I expected that to be higher.
Yeah.
But
He struggled and got himself a number 9. We actually spoke about this, would have been last week by now, wouldn't it?
oh, yeah.
So we're excited for it. And winter,
What's
next
on
winter.
Next winter, yes. Yeah, I could get mixed up because I've seen some news about the other one.
Crisis Core.
No, the other one.
God, what's going on? Oh, Final Fantasy 16.
15.
Yes.
Some information about that. But
Yeah.
Let's. I suppose not a lot of them played the first one, did they?
No.
The remake. Only me, you, and Salmon, I think.
I don't know if Salmon even finished it. He got it.
Did
He
not?
got it on
he didn't like it, did he?
I think he liked it, but it wasn't a good port.
Right. Oh, right.
It was stuttering and had all kind of. It's just shit effort. And when things come a year later to PC, like Rockstar do with their games, they're always mostly delayed on PC. But when they come out, they're pucker. The same with what Sony have been doing. Really, all their PC ports have been pretty good, other than like Zero Dawn, which was their first go at it. But God of War, from like Master Race enthusiasts to like, you've put the bells and whistles on this. Is what we're happy to wait if you're going to put the effort in, rather than chuck out a sloppy port.
The old Paul. So I suppose it's only me and you really then, so that's probably why. But I'm very much hyped for this.
At least it made it. So no formal release date. It's next winter, so it could be late 2023 or early 2024. It'll probably be knocked out that anyway, but long way away for that. And Modern Warfare 2 is the 28th of October 2022. So
It does have a date.
that does have a date. Next one, number 8. This is ambitious to have this sitting on here this early. Grand Theft Auto 6.
Oh, I did think about adding this, but in my brain, I went for a 2-year. Well, I went at a what's it called? I went for an 18-month tops list.
Yeah.
So obviously this would have been high on my list, but I mean we've not even had an announcement.
No, they've sent it.
Normally we just get a logo.
Sent a tweet out, didn't they, saying we're working on it, and that's it.
That's it. So normally you get the logo. I think we got the 5, didn't we? Got the little 5 logo first.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, here we go. So until we get that, then I feel like it can't be included on my list personally.
No.
But yeah, it's going to be excellent, isn't it? Well, iteration we get.
You'd expect so.
Although, that fella's left, isn't he, Hooker?
Hooker?
No, what's his name? Not
Hauser.
Hooker. Hauser.
One of the Hauser brothers. Yeah, he's walked out. They lost
Dan the Hooker. That's a
Dan
UFC
Hooker. He is, yeah. They lost Leslie Benzies as well. Between, I think it was maybe just before Red Dead Redemption 2. I can't remember, but he was one of the executive producers on 4 and other games on 5. So yeah, it's been quite a big shift in like the big power players up there at Rockstar. So no guarantees, and also we have to remember they've been grossly spoiled with money for the online functionality. So you hope not, but you do ever wonder, like, if you were really a hard-nosed business, you go, why would I even bother putting all this money, like 500 million or whatever bloody GTA 5 costs, to do a campaign that will earn us a good wedge, but we know that we can absolutely make 10 times more of an online piece of mode for people. So I don't think they will. I feel like they've got enough money that actually it's like a little project, like a bit of a creative project rather than a business one. It's like Red Dead Redemption 2. That's just fantastic still. That's in a post GTA 5 world, but I always have my concerns about that. But yeah, like you, I was kind of like, that just seems so far away that it's not even. Yeah. You know, it's difficult to. I can't sit there tonight thinking about that because.
No, I've got 10 fish to fry.
Exactly, and I've said this many times. My sort of perspective now is that I'm more likely to be dead before GTA 6 comes out than Modern Warfare 2. So am I more excited for Modern Warfare 2? Maybe that's maybe that's how it'll work out. But long ways off. But you know, Rockstar have a habit of getting into the wider gaming community, and that has been reflected here. We've opened this up that people are very much looking forward to GTA 6. Number 7. It's an interesting one because, spoiler alert, it's beating out its sort of older contemporary. It's beating out the OG, knocked its chance of getting of Gaming's Most Wanted off the list. It's the Callisto Protocol. So Dead Space Remake, the original, not allowed on, but the Callisto Protocol's freshness seems to have gifted it that chance. And to be honest, you watch the showcase performances it showed up really well over the Summer Game Fest and the PlayStation 1. We got the Schofield cut, we got some gameplay, and then we saw the fella getting sucked into a fan and dying. And like, it has had a good showing in the last few weeks or so. December the 2nd is the scheduled release date, so likely to get that before GTA 6 certainly. And Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. But where are you at? Are you... Because there's no getting around the comparisons. This is not quite No Man's Sky and Starfield. There's big differences there, but the Callisto Protocol shares.
I thought I put it on my list, but I didn't.
Hell of a lot of DNA with Dead Space. This is
hell of a lot. I see an interview with Schofield, and he was like really hammering home, like, look, this is not Dead Space. I know it has very much a lot of comparisons, but look, this is his own game, his own story, own world. And he said, like, the more you'll see of it, the more you'll realise that it is. Certainly what we saw is very, very Dead Space. But yeah, I'm all in, baby. Like, even that first just announcement trailer got me stuck in. But after that gameplay, seeing how fucking visceral it looks, like, just how it's scarily horrible it's going to be to play.
Oh yes,
I'm waiting for them sweaty palms like I got in Dead Space. The fucking dirty, horrible monsters jumping out fucking vents at you. Yeah, I'm all in. I just don't see them making that date.
No, I have a. Yeah, it feels too soon, and like I think I mentioned last week, it feels like they want it out before Dead Space Remake by hook or by crook, which might, if it comes out if it does meet that day and it's clearly not ready, that'll be disappointing. That'll be That's just like, Glenn, keep your cock in your pants just for a few more months and polish it up.
Exactly, polish that pecker. But no, I can't wait. It does look really good. But yeah, I hope they don't rush it out because
I'd rather it is delayed till spring and it
I feel like we're us as gamers as well more open now for delays, and we sort of accept them more.
Yeah.
we expect them more.
yeah.
You know, like a game you hear it's been in development for 2-3 years, and you're like, well, it's not ready yet, is it?
No, it's clearly not going
Like
to come
normally
out.
we're like, fucking, it's been a year since you've made that. Come on, bring it out.
I was shocked that Death Stranding came out when it did.
Yeah,
I was like 8 years before he got anything out, but like that.
especially when we started waffling on about new new genres. You're like,
Yeah.
right, he's really fucking got to make this to a new thing.
Strand gameplay said so.
Strand
So he's off
game.
them, but no. Callisto Protocol. Hoping that if and when it does come out, it's definitely ready because it would be a shame because I think it's definitely got potential.
Yeah.
It shares I can see where the Dead Space comparisons are, but there's a lot more shooting. You know, in this one, I mean, you can still. It didn't seem as tool based as what Dead Space was, but
No.
then again, his HP is on the back of his neck, which is similar to Isaac's spine, which was in Dead Space. But I like I've got no problem with it being that kind of close and parallel to it. I'm looking forward to this.
Biff called Ghost of Tsushima Japanese Assassin's Creed.
How offensive do you want to get? That's right up there.
This is cutty. Oh, what else? Everything's an Assassin's Creed. When Shadows of Mordor, that was
Yeah.
a fat.
Biff called Shadows of Mordor a fat, lazy Creed. It's on tape somewhere. It's on an old podcast. Look it up.
Brilliant.
I mean, it's true. That was true in that case.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah, I just hope this isn't a fat, lazy Dead Space.
To be honest, I'll take it because
Yeah,
I
fat, lazy
like
Dead
Dead
Space.
Space.
I'm all for that. Actually. That's brilliant.
2nd of December for the Callisto Protocol on Schofield and his little pecker. Speaking of delays, this is the team that actually decided to delay their game despite what can only have been assumed as massive pressure to make sure this comes out in a timely manner. It's number 6. It's Starfield.
Oh, Redfall, not to be seen anywhere.
No.
Oh, no. I thought about putting it on my list. I was like, actually, get in the bin.
Here's the thing about Redfall. I don't want to derail it too much, but that's what we always do.
Oh, Kane, come on.
Arcane, yes. I've enjoyed pretty much all of their games. They've shown it off, to me anyway, and it's all open to interpretation. It looks like a cooperative shooter, looter type
I didn't
thing.
realise it's an open world.
Yeah, open world.
Didn't
So
realise
then I was thinking, like, maybe not Left 4 Dead, maybe Borderlandsy. That's what I had in my head.
Right, yeah.
That's based on what they've shown.
Yeah,
And yet they're being quoted in interviews saying, well, there's a big solo component to this, and you know, it's kind of more solo than it is co-op because the news came out that if me and you are playing and you come into my game, your progress in your game won't go forward. You have to redo the mission again. So it's been set up in such an arse backwards way that now when they're saying, well, solo's here, don't forget about that, I'm like, well, yeah, if you haven't got the basics of multiplayer right, you absolutely should make it clear that it's solo. But guess what? Every time we've seen the fucking game, this is always mad co-op going on.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, that whole gameplay.
They've marketed it as though it's a complete out-and-out Borderlands-esque game, and it's not, because it doesn't have that very important component of progression being shared.
That is an absolute stinker as well, if you're not. I wonder if they'll be reversed before release. I don't know if it's kicked up much of a stink, but...
I think they just need to change the way they're presenting it.
Yeah,
it should be presented as a single-player game first, and perhaps someone jumps in to help. I don't know. But even on the CGI trailer, it was all like, hey, we're all as a team, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh. And then when they showed the walkthrough, it was all basically all multiplayer.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing there. Anyway, God Howard, as they call him, Starfield.
God Howard.
Been sitting on this for a while.
We
got the delay, which, you know, is a hammer blow to Phil. I reckon Phil went in there and when that's...
Chucked out during a sad Wednesday tweet, wasn't it?
It was. Just ran...
Out you go.
Like, oh.
No announcement, they just chucked it. Went, oh, mate.
It's funny because Phil, that week, went and visited the Bethesda studios.
Oh, really?
So clearly at that point they got there, then Todd went, I got something to tell you, mate. This ain't ready. This ain't ready.
Oh,
give us 2023. We'll H1 and we'll make it stick until we realise we can't. So, but no, we saw a good old chunk of this 15 minutes. It's number 6 on the Gamers Most
review?
Wanted here, and I'm excited for it because I feel like there's so much. I just can't see how they don't
7.
deliver here.
7 on mine.
Lovely.
Oh yeah, within it. Yeah, I am very hyped. I liked what I saw. Spoke about this a lot last week,
Yeah.
but yeah, excited. I've like I've seen. Not been too much more information since then. I think we've discussed it, but there was the talk of that there won't be seamless things, but
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
too much of a hindrance.
My view on that is it would be awesome, but it won't make a good game bad or a great game good.
Nah.
It won't detract from it that much.
Nah,
Save
definitely
it for
not.
the sequel and then say, this is what we really wanted to do.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm quite excited. I'm quite hyped, and
It's been too long since we've had Bethesda big RPG. You know, Fallout 4 was the last one. That was many moons ago, and that had its issues for me. And that's a franchise I deeply loved. So that was a bit of a disappointment. Fallout 76, throw it on the scrap heap, put it in the sea, whatever you want to do with it. And now Starfield, brand new kind of setting, new franchise. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Let's get it right, Todd. And Phil, because you've got a handle on it, so don't blow
Yeah.
it. Number 5. Final Fantasy 16.
Oh,
Come on.
confirmed.
When's this? Next summer, they say. It said next summer.
Summer confirmed.
So you've got the
Not-
detail.
Not
Yep.
open world.
Yes.
See that?
So, for you, good or bad, based on... We've had 7 remake, which wasn't open world. We had 15, which
No.
was...
I really liked 15 and quite liked the setting of it, so I was expecting it to be of a similar ilk. However, then we got 7, which was an open world. So now I'm sort of like, well, they were both very good in their own right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do to it. But yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, we're going to have a lot of open world games. Let's see what young Eurogamer says. In an interview, he said, recent open world games have provided inspiration. We've found in our extensive user research that many of the younger generation of games have never played a Final Fantasy.
Okay.
We just want to create one that's inspired by recent. However, to bring this story to the span of the globe, we decided to avoid an open world design that limits us to a single open world space and instead focus on an independent area-based game design that players will be able to feel truly global scale.
They don't half talk some shit. These
They
people.
do, yeah.
When you actually read it out, you think, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's just words, mate. What are you talking about? Final Fantasy is set in a new world and it comprises 6 regions. Crikey. So it could be a bit, I always fucking refer to it, but Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Could be that sort of thing.
Anything else pop up in those? Because I know they were translated this week. Any other interesting information that? Because you've got more of a handle on sort of classic Final Fantasy and summons and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that was the
I
other
found
thing.
out the main character's name's Clive.
Oh, that is absolutely tip-top information.
That is stunning.
If I was making a game, I would definitely either call him Clive or Bruce.
Yeah. If I was making a child, that's what I'd call them. Clive or
Norm.
Bruce.
What was that?
Norm.
Norm was as a pig, was it? Fucking...
Yeah, Monster Hunter. I named my little pig companion Norm. Scumbag.
Absolute scumbag, knocking houses in. Brilliant. Yeah. I don't think was there much. What was the? It seems like they're definitely taking a big focus. Wasn't there like multiple sections for fighting the summons?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it is all words at the moment, but they were trying to describe that process and whatnot.
I wish I did know more than I do. I've not really. I just sort of skimmed the headlines, to be honest. But I did see that big one. No open world. So yeah, he says that.
But
Global scale.
This is a big one for us because we've literally... I don't know when we saw that first trailer. It feels like it was 2 years ago. That may even be accurate now. And it looked really good then. I was like, wow. Mature rating, blood. I was like, oh.
Give it us.
Give it us. So, Final Fantasy 16. Summer 2023 can't come soon enough for me. And I'm very much looking forward to Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, hello. Here we go. More.
Here we go.
We'll feature an AI party and have
Yes.
mature content. Yeah,
Also,
so
you
they
can
should
make the
do
game easier by equipping certain items, which will come with
Ooh.
what are they fucking called? Assists.
Oh.
So
Oh, right.
you
Okay.
might have like an auto buff or something like that, and so rather than have him, I think they'll have difficulty levels as well, but you can adapt the game and make it a bit easier for you using items, which is a bit of it's a nice unique way of tackling approachability. This does feel like a complete change to what, just
Yeah, it
even
really
even in like
does.
style and setting and atmosphere, it feels very
Well,
very
they're really
different.
hammering home this mature setting.
Yeah.
Which is quite excellent to see. 15 was very anime-esque.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, obviously they're Japanese; they're always going to get that anime.
Well, I did read
Tag.
that they're not gonna. Well, they're gonna try and avoid using American accents because it's not set in a real medieval Europe, but that's the sort of the target.
vibe.
They're going to try and avoid using that for the English versions of it and give it a bit more authenticity. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how it plays out because even at the best of times, Final Fantasy games are just cheese and anime. Like they do fall into that trap like a lot. But I'm wondering whether they can deliver something more akin to, say, a Witcher or something. Like,
Oh, that would be tasty.
I don't want to get too silly with it, but who knows? Exciting times. Number 4, controversial for some, but I think when you have one of the best games of the last decade being remade, you kind of have to tip your cap to it. It's The Last of Us Part 1.
Oh,
PS5 remake coming to PC at a later unspecified date.
this was very high on my list.
Well, yes.
For
I was
good
gonna.
reason.
You talk me through that.
So,
What's going on?
I wanted that hype. The thing that's got me hyped is I was thinking of putting it lower in the echelon, the lower echelon, but
Yeah.
because we know the story. They're not going to do. Well, I'm pretty sure they're not going to do. They're not going to do a Final Fantasy VII remake style, shall we call it? They're not going to do that.
This is the same story. They haven't even re-recorded. They've done no new performance capture, anything like that. This is all a technical uplift.
Technical thing. But what I am very much hyped to see is this new AI that they're talking about, taking the Last of Us 2 gameplay.
Yes.
I hope that, to anyone else, this is probably nothing, but just because we're such fans of the franchise, I just feel it could open a lot more possibilities in just terms of gameplay. Even just being if you can jump, that's going to change parts of the game. And like I think you've mentioned before, like are they going to have to change, some of the areas, like the sort of settings?
Give me some crawl spaces to go prone and climb. Like
exactly,
I loved doing that. The Last of Us Part 2, like just not just crouching, but getting on my stomach and being like, right, I'm going to slowly just go through this little gap here. But that would require tinkering and tampering with the original levels and the environments. Now, is that going to upset the purists?
Well,
the story won't be touched.
No, the story won't be touched. But they go, oh, remember this bit? Wait a minute, it's gone.
Yeah.
You bastards!
I mean, I hope they do. I hope they touch it up and change it as much as they can get away with. I'm happy with everything else staying, but if they can make the gameplay more akin to 2, that's a big boost to a game that came out in 2013.
2013, God blimey! But I mean, even down to the performance, I think it's either their Santa Monica Twitter or Druckers has been tweeting out some little clips, and there's one of like Tess's performance,
mate.
And it was just like in the original. I didn't realise how sort of just like minimal it was. But
back then, that looked so on PS3. That was like top tier. Like, look at the fidelity, look at the facial structure on these characters, and they've done a side by side test, and then said this is what it looks like in the remake. And I was like, oh my god!
And it wasn't even. There was no dialogue. It was just a sort of looking at the camera.
It's like reactive, wasn't she?
Yeah, it's just going. Like that sort of thing, and I was like, there was nothing in the first one. The second one, you're like, cool. But the trouble is with this, unless you do a real fresh replay before that comes out, which we ain't got long.
No.
So
I'm not.
I tend no, nor mine really. I got you tend to sort of forget like as much as you can watch little clips like that and think, oh yeah, the majority, the brain's gonna forget.
Yeah.
Uh,
It always look this
but
way, it'll say.
yeah, that's it.
It's going to
Exactly
need
that.
like a digital foundry
Real.
video to
Yeah.
really show you. I mean, your brain does play tricks on you, and you will think, well, there's nothing changed here. I mean, even I remember I sent Biff like a screenshot when I can't tell the difference, and I was like,
that picture of that fucking clicker.
yeah,
The bit where it's Joel and he's got it by the throat.
yeah.
Like that, even that, it really looks bad on PS3 in comparison.
Whoa.
See, they were even showing how it looks so much better than 2. There, I saw a comparison with Last of Us 2, and it's night and day over that. And I was like, cool. So because of this is why it's very high on my list.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's pretty. That and Metal Gear Solid, they're contending for my favourite game ever. So that's why it's high. But I can see why, it's not a new game.
No,
So
yeah.
I do accept it.
If you didn't like it first time round, then this is like absolute. Nothing here is going to change that perspective. So I can understand that. But I fucking loved it. So I'm very much looking forward to, hopefully, fingers crossed, that they don't balls this up, getting my hands on the best available version of The Last of Us Part 1, as it's now known as, and fucking playing through it again. Let's go.
It'd be really cool if they did. I don't think they have, but if they included, like, you started on Left Behind as well. Because I've only ever played that once.
I've only played it once as well, yeah. Yeah.
It'd be nice to go back through that and see the story. But yeah, just this. I want to see this AI and just to watch these cutscenes again in this new setting.
There'll be a photo mode for you. You'll be in there.
Oh, glorious.
Take you 100 hours, it will, to get through that, pausing it.
And I'm hoping as well, it's not been confirmed yet, but old Miller was talking about it, and he reckons that they will change the trophy list as well, so we're not going to be tied behind this bloody factions mode trophy that was atrocious.
I mean, they can't anyway, can they? Because
no, is that been confirmed that they're not doing it?
Yeah,
it's just a campaign, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it'd be funny if they put it in there and there's no way to get the trophy.
that would be funny. Fucking hell, because they did it with the remaster, didn't they?
They still had it in there.
You had it in. You're like, fuck's sakes, you got to do it. There's people who've done that twice.
I know.
I tried to see how hard it.
Did you ever go through it or try and do
I
one
never
campaign?
did. I was gonna, but it's just so like I think I did try it once, and I think I got to like 3 days, and then someone like one
you
of
go for a whole year, don't you?
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
And with both sides as well, both factions. You have to do it
you
twice.
got to go both factions and win. Yeah,
that's it. Because you can get to like the last week, and if you lose all the people in your settlement, it ends and you restart. So there is a risk of that happening. Yeah, I remember I actually played a few sessions with old Bifter, and it was actually pretty good.
It's good. Yeah, it's a good concept.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Uncharted 4 multiplayer as well. Like, I know a lot of people said they were bolt-ons, but like the Horde mode they had in Uncharted 4, I love that. And
that got tough.
Yeah, and factions in the original Last of Us and the remaster had a good couple of sessions on that. But
I think we've done a good stream on there once. Me, you, and Logan.
Yeah,
and Biff. I think.
Smashed.
Was it when the game had come out? Was it the full version, or was it just like a beta that we all jumped on? I can't remember.
We all jumped on a beta for sure, but then post that, when it came out, me, you, and Biff played the Uncharted mode.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
right.
This will just be the campaign, and it will be coming for the premium price of 70 UK Jim Ryan pounds.
Jim Ryan pounds.
Is there any trepidations over that?
Well, I've got it for 61.
Happy with that, or does it feel like pants are being pulled down and cocks are being inserted up arses?
Yeah,
a bit graphic. Actually, that shouldn't do that, should I?
It feels like
it does stay explicit on iTunes. Sorry,
like this. It's got straight up, and then the can as well. No, it is a bit of a sour taste of it. I do think it should be even 50. I think 50 is acceptable. Yeah, I think 50 is acceptable just because everything else is 70. It shouldn't be a full price game. What? I suppose they weren't ever. The ones before this were before the 70.
Yeah.
So we never really had this problem, but yeah, it's happened in the past that you get these remakes and you think, oh, that'd be alright, that'd be discounted if they come out full whack. But Yeah, no, I'm not too happy about that, to be honest. But it's just one of those games that I will bite the bullet and pay it, and then you'll fucking see it in in a bargain bin 3 months later for fucking half a price.
Yeah.
One thing I did feel as of today of recording, the new PS Plus things have just hit.
Ah,
Haven't they?
yes, yeah.
So I was having a little peruse today to see. Haven't switched over yet, but just eyeing up which one to get. And I was thinking, will this get added down the line?
Well,
You know, is this?
at some point, I assume it will.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, you got Last of Us. I don't think two's. I think remasters on there on
Yeah.
their collection. I
Yeah,
don't
so the
think
most
2 is yet.
recent games you've got on it are it's Returnal. It's
Returnal,
just
yeah.
over a year old. I think Ratchet's either a year old or coming up to a year old. That's not on there. I think it's case by case. Honestly,
Yeah.
I reckon
But then you also do
Jim said to the number board, said, when the line hits here, we're making this amount, put it on there. But if we're still making this amount, leave it.
That's
Let them
very
keep
true,
them
yeah.
waiting because they'll be tempted to buy it even if
Suppose
it's
they're not-
6-7 months later.
No, I suppose they're not remasters, but there is also Death Stranding Director's Cut and Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. But
Yeah, that's on there.
they're not remakes per se, are they? They're just
No.
explored up PS5 version. So I think I know they weren't freebies when they Jim's chucking a £10 fucking
$5 for Death Stranding. I think it's 15 quid
£5
for Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh,
So
really?
£20 in
price.
total, £10 each. You're basically right.
Split the difference.
Split the difference. That's how it works. But yeah, it's funny. I looked at the price for the remastered edition on PS4 when it came out. Let me just check it again, just to make sure my eyes weren't absolutely completely fucking with me. $39.99. So that was a £10 discount on the $49.99 for the PS3 version a year or so before, and then the remastered one. They went, yeah, we know that's not a full game, so we're gonna drop it in for a £10 luxury price. Jim now's like, nope, 70.
70 for everything. I'm not having anything split. People will buy this.
Yeah, they will, absolutely will. And
that's the thing.
This, without pandering to them, there's probably a lot more work being put into this. It's been rebuilt in a brand new engine. Yeah, there's a lot more work going in. Although in theory, if you're a gamer, there's actually less content because you haven't got the multiplayer mode. So
that's true.
It's worth raising an eyebrow at, I say. But ultimately, this is on track to be it's going to be the best version of one of the best games of the last decade. So don't get that happen that often.
To see how different it will be on PC as well.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a glorious looking game.
A lot of people have queried it, saying, why are they even doing this? Like, why are they remaking it again? And my view is that I think they wanted to put this on PC for obvious reasons. And they thought, well, whilst we're here, well, maybe it's the other way around. But either way, it's going to breed a PC version of it. I think that's more I mean, they know they can leverage this game and charge 70 for it, but I feel like the PC version, that was part of the strategy. If that wasn't there, if that option wasn't there, and we're still doing console only, I don't think they'd have bothered.
No, I don't think so.
That's a big part of this.
That TV show as well, they want to get. They were saying, for the people that haven't played it, if you're a PlayStation, you've gone 2 generations without playing this game. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? You get the first PlayStation console you buy is a PS5. You're going, I've heard of this Last of Us. I might wait. You can literally play it you can stream. No, you can't even stream now, can you? The PS3 one.
No, you can. I put it on. I put it on the other day to check if my trophies unglitched.
Oh yeah,
no, it didn't. Disappointing that was.
Have you gone for the premium then? Have you?
Well, I had PlayStation Now, didn't I?
Oh,
so it's grandfathered me into it. But when I tried the stream, it was on PlayStation Now. Like, it was 2 days ago.
Oh, right.
And that's changed. So actually, I don't know if it's there now. Is a good question. It was there this morning. The little tile was, and I removed it. I was like, get that off my home screen. I don't want that infecting it. But there we go. Last of Us Part 1, 2nd of September, 2022. Number 3, another remake. Can you guess which remake it is?
Resident Evil 4.
Correct. March 24th, 2023. Revealed formally at Sony's State of Play earlier this month. I mean, you know what? I was looking at the trailer again, and
Have you seen there's a new one?
yes,
There was. It was at the Capcom.
had a little
fair.
bit of what they called gameplay, and it was just Leon walking around. But
Yeah, it was bare. It was
it was
4 seconds of gameplay.
yeah, it's on the limit of it being useful at all. But
Yeah.
what I noticed, well, and I could be wrong, but it looked like they were showing at the beginning of the game, like the starting
Yes.
open area. They have completely changed the time of day. Like you start Resident Evil 4, it's daylight, and that's kind of one of the things that makes it quite unique. In that a lot of it takes place using the opening period in the day, like, and you're sort of scared whilst like Shining. That's a very bright movie, but it's scary for other reasons. This one remake, this looks spooky. The lights are all down. And again, they might be in a different area, but it looked like to me they were looking at the opening kind of areas of it. So, is that going to upset the public?
Well, that is a concern, I've got to say, because watching that Capcom press conference direct,
Liberty's being taken.
Liberty's being taken, and yeah, there was a bit more gameplay. We did see again, and probably got gifted about 15 seconds of gameplay with that one. But yeah, I did notice that, and they even made comment to sort of take. I can't remember if I'm paraphrasing, but it was something like taking inspiration from Resident Evil 4,
reimagining.
Reimagining.
That's the word they're using.
The word. That was it. That's the word they're using. So, 2 wasn't a like for like.
One of the greatest games ever made, and they're going to foul the nest.
That's it. Yeah, 2 wasn't a a like for like remake.
Nah.
That did go off in its own, and that was fantastic.
Agreed.
But you are right. There is every chance that you fuck with that setting too much, you could take that atmosphere away.
Fuck them, I say. Let the reimagining go on. I don't want to beat for beat Resident Evil 4.
No.
Like, the original will always be there. They're not going to delist it and take it away. Like, you can't. People are, it's ruined the. I'm like, shut up. That's ruined nothing. Don't play it if you don't like it. But
absolutely not.
I'm happy for them to take liberties, but I know it's controversial because of how well loved 4 is and how quote unquote perfect it already is. Why are you meddling with it? Because if they get it, because if they do too much, there will be blood. As the film says, there will be blood. There will be in the streets. They're going to get gutted for it.
Did you ever see? So I think this is how Devil May Cry was made, because they made a tech demo for 4, didn't they?
All phantoms and shit.
That was it. All fucking like weird ghosts and shit.
Yeah.
And they had it with what's his name? Leon. Oh, Leon. His collar was popped up. Well, that's how he's got it in this new one. I was
cheeky bastards.
Cheeky bastards.
Callbacks.
Callbacks indeed. So
where do you stand on them meddling with it too much, or do you not give a toss?
I'm happy to be. I'm not too bad. I don't think they're not gonna fuck the like you say, the atmosphere up, because 2. I was more scared playing that remake than I ever was playing. Actually, I was pretty scared playing that as a kid.
Yeah, I remember going to that gun shop with 2, and I was like,
yeah, when they smashed through the door, I was like, oh god. No, I think did I complete 2? I can't remember.
I didn't get close to them because they looked well.
Those fucking tank shit.
Tank took an ink ribbons to boot.
Yeah, that was it. Oh, stick that back in and really upset the apple cart.
If you didn't have anxiety, that game will give it to you.
Yeah, fucking right. So I'm happy for them to do, because of the pedigree they've done. They probably would have been concerned having not previously done remakes, and you're like, right, can you be trusted with these games? But after they've done 2 and 3, I suppose 3 wasn't as good as 2, even though it was all right in its own right. But it was more actiony. 4 was very actiony as well. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, I just feel, don't know, they do know what they're doing. I think they'll be trusted. It'll be a great game, but hype is that thing, and I'm still fighting this thing. I've been looking. Should I go for the original first? Time is cutting down now.
I tried to go through it about, what year are we? When I first met Adcock, actually, so it'd have been maybe 9-10 years ago.
Oh.
I got past the first sort of area, which is about 3 to 4 hours. Never picked it up again.
Game a year up your arse.
Yeah, I did. Game of the decade. Yeah, game of the generation. I was like, I can't. I had it on Xbox One, I think, at the time.
It's been on everything, isn't it? It was on Wii. Everyone was raving about the Wii version.
Apparently the Wii. Yeah, apparently the Wii version is very good, and also the VR version is supposed to be up there as well, because they've done VR properly, so you mechanically do all the reloads and stuff like that. Because you can't walk and shoot it in VR, it works just as well, because you haven't got to worry about all that nonsense. But they're going. So this is. I'm very much like you. I've loved 2, enjoyed 3 remake. I want all the Resident Evils to be remade, spit them all out, and this hopefully. I'm not too fussed if they foul the nest and change things. Like I know it'll get uproar from the zealots that want it to be a blow for blow bloody remake. They want Psycho with fucking what's that comedian that was in the remake of that? Old Vince Vaughn. Yeah, it's like a shot for shot remake. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was weird. I
don't want game remakes to be that unless they are like The Last of Us, where that's the intention. This is a reimagining, so let's use some creative licenses. Because again, if you go back and play 4, story wise, character wise, like they just weren't there at that point. I felt with 2, not that 2 and 3 have the best characters or stories, but they do a better job of presenting it. So there's opportunities there to fill in gaps, and they're gonna get smack for it. Like almost certain that they will. Yeah. There'll be too many liberties taken, and people won't be happy, but I'll be happy as long as it plays as well as 2 or 3. Number 2, controversial. Not for us. Maybe a controversial position though. God of War Ragnarok hasn't locked out the top spot. It's on the front row, but
is that because it hasn't got a release date yet?
Possibly. Sure. But then you've got others that just shrug their shoulders at it.
I'm trying to just think what number 1 is, but I think I realised. But yes, no, nothing concrete yet.
As we record, unless Corey,
we feel. Do you reckon it's going to have its own state of play? Do you think? Or
I think it has to. Like a game like that, you'd just be foolish not to just say we're going to do 15 minutes talking about God of War Ragnarok. Tune in, and then everyone tunes in. They show it. It blows people's bollocks off, and everyone's like, "Where's that pre-order button?" And they say, 2024.
Suck on that, you bastards. I remember they done one for Horizon Forbidden West. That I assume already had a release date by then.
You know what? Can't remember the timeline. I don't think it did.
Did it not? So maybe they ended that with that and went, look, here's your fucking taters. I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah. I would. That's how I would do it, but I'm nowhere close to being a genius at marketing. But you know, we've been hearing rumblings or rumours that originally September was rumbling because there's a load of merchandise coming out in September. But then we've got The Last of Us Part 2 coming in the 2nd of September, so you're not going to do that, are they? November time, Starfield's out the way there. Do you chuck it on the original Starfield date just to stick one up Phil's arse? Just say, look,
when's COD? I suppose they're still benefiting from that. But was COD?
COD's 28th of October.
Oh, so it's blended.
Chance. Or maybe it is delayed. Maybe, in fact, it's 2023. I
do still think it could be, but
Corey
was playing it the other day, wasn't he?
Apparently, he had that.
Alluding to he was.
Well, like I said to you, when you say it to me, I was like, I bet he's absolutely ripped that a new arsehole. And they sent him packing. They're like, that's about 8 months worth of work he's suggesting there.
Fuck that.
I know.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I played for the original not long ago. People would have heard my opinions. It's still fantastic.
Fantastic, baby.
Looking forward to this. I mean, you got people saying it looks like DLC, though. What do you think of that sort of comment? I mean, we've seen very little of it, but
I've got to say, I saw a video, and it's already changed, apparently, since then. There was a video of like him and from the original trailer. They'd done a second trailer. It'd already changed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, I've got to say, from that first thing, I did sort of think, it don't look much different. I wanted that walkthrough gameplay that we got, that E3 trailer. That was the announcement. That was brilliant. That was when we killed the troll.
Funny, I watched the documentary of that. I think it's called Raising Kratos. Worth a watch if you've not seen it.
Yeah. I think I've never finished it. I started and I always fall asleep because I always put it on before I go to bed.
As a doobie.
And that's like all them like changing the studio and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, they go through. They show the behind the scenes of that day, like the E3 day. Like Corey's playing it in the back and whatnot live. So it was a live demonstration.
Brave,
but the interesting thing is, after that, they basically come to the studio. They're like, "Wow, we're really blown away by the reception." And I was like, "We haven't even built the game. Like, we've now got to make the whole game like that."
Fucking hell.
So there's probably about 10% of it done, and they showed you that vertical slice, and you thought, "Oh, polish! Look at that!
Look at that!
I didn't done most of the game," but they were like, "Fuck."
That is an absolute stinker, isn't it? That's brilliant, though. But yeah, no, I can't. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see it. What are the concerns of Alana writing the story?
No, I don't.
She's.
Is it actually God of War she's doing?
Yeah, it's Ragnarok. Yeah, there's another female doing it.
Yeah.
I think these bloody females. I don't know if she's got any pedigree.
Mother's
Yeah, because I thought she was going to be given her own project to work on, but no, seemingly it looks like this. Yeah, writers. Where is it? Oh no, it just says on Matt's. I'm pretty sure. I swear I saw it.
Crapped it.
Double check, but it says there's someone else now. It says Matt Sophos, but I'm pretty sure that she definitely has some involvement in the story. And it's not him directing this one, is it?
Corey's not directing it, no. So that's
could be another concern. Nah.
I mean, no, I that is a.
To be fair, 1,
thing.
2, there was a lot of change around in.
If I said to you, Starfield's not directed by or creative leaded by Todd, you'd be like, "Oh,
hello."
Yeah, I think that's fair to be slightly like, okay. I understand the team's there, but I know people don't like to give the directors or the creative leads like any credit. They're like, "Oh, these auteurs are too demanding." Ken Levine, what a cut! But they do churn out some crackers when they have, a strong leader that kind of has a vision and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the new fella, I can't remember the chap's name. I'll look it up in a minute. But obviously he's worked there. He's very experienced and whatnot. But Corey.
Yeah, so I remember there was a lot of change in the first trilogy. Even though this isn't going to be another trilogy. But yeah, so in God of War Original, he was a lead animator.
That's it.
He was then promoted to he was game director and story writer for 2. And then 3, he was demoted to initial design.
Wow. Back to the
story layout.
Eric Williams,
that's it, yes.
I mean, even if you just look at the two names, Corey Barlog, Eric Williams. He's a bit generic, old L.
Come on, L. He's going to play it safe.
Wow.
Well, we'll see.
Corey's still obviously involved, but...
Yeah, heavily. Yeah, I don't know. I think, too... The trouble is, the big concern is, God of War was so good. What are they going to do? Like, even with that gameplay, what else could they do?
They've backed themselves into a little bit of a corner, I think, but...
Who knows? We thought this with Last of Us. We said that's the perfect game. What are they going to do? And then they churn out The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, it made you feel like, cool, that's an old clunky pile of shit, that original.
Yeah.
So it's possible. But then I look at more something like Horizon Forbidden West, which I loved. I thought was great still.
Playing through it now.
But
Nearly there.
A lot of people soured on that franchise. Like, it's more of the same. It's too similar. And this is much more comparable in that they both came out the last generation and now both critically acclaimed. Okay, God of War was far more critically acclaimed than Horizon.
Yeah.
And then Horizon comes out with what I thought was a better sequel overall. And people are like, what else you got?
What else you got? Get back to
kill zone. And then God of War, I'm like, well, they're going to do the same there. But if they nail the story anywhere close to the original, that can drag. Not it needs dragging through the game. If it plays like the original, will be great as well. But expectations these days sometimes are a funny thing to keep in check. You go too high once, you'll never meet that standard, then you're doubly punished for being like 2 points off it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Get us a release date though. Number 1. So Gaming's Most Wanted. This is the Undisputed King. It was actually joint with Ragnarok.
God, that's just one of the ties.
It had it had the same amount of first place rankings, but it had more people that had put it on their list, so it got the second tie break. And unsurprising, considering some of the circles that we dabble in here at Dimp, but the sequel to Breath of the Wild, an untitled game, is sitting top of the tree of Gaming's Most Wanted, delayed into 2023 earlier this year, which I was very thankful of. Yeah, that's when I thought Starfield was coming. So now they're going to both be on top of each other potentially next year. So that problem's just been kicked down the road rather than resolved. Do
you feel this is going to be bigger than Breath of the Wild, or because didn't they? I never played it, but they always pin Ocarina of Time with that Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
And in my head, I always thought that Majora's Mask was the sort of
feet up approach to it.
The
asset
feet up,
flip, they said.
Yeah, the dessert, if you will, to the Ocarina of the full meal.
Yeah,
full meal of Ocarina, and then you get the nice little dessert at the end, which you think I always felt this could be, but who knows?
So I don't think that. Only because, and I'm just trying to do on-the-fly research to back up the bollocks it's about to come out of my gob. So my understanding of timelines, it's a long time ago. It's a bloody kid. Give me a break. So we had, what did we have? We had Ocarina of Time.
Yep. Majora.
What was that? 98. Is that right?
Oh, is that when the N64 came?
N64. So Ocarina of Time was 1998. Okay, fine. That's logged. Majora's Mask was 2000. So it's only a 2-year turnaround. This has been 5. It'd been no, be 6, won't it?
Yeah, 17. Cool. Yeah, it will.
It will be 6 years. Is that right?
My old boots. Yeah, February 17th. Yeah, it's when Albert was born. Came out 3 days apart. I was like, right, get that kid out of the way. I've got this new Switch.
I'm halfway through Horizon as well.
It was an absolute belter of a year. Fucking and they come along.
So it'll be 6 years. I mean, based on that alone, I have to assume that it can't be this dessert function. It has to be another main course chucked out. And some people would argue that Breath of the Wild, whilst it was great and innovative and had all the sandbox elements, they will say barren wasteland, no dungeons, what are we doing? That criticism rings true to today. This could be like, okay, that was a good first run of something we haven't tried before. Now here's what we can really do. Yeah,
that could do some big damage.
I don't know what the reviewers are going to do, because they've already stated that it was the second coming. Now, if this comes along and is 5 times better because they've learnt loads of lessons and they've expanded, they're going to have no ceiling because they've already already used it. Yeah.
Ironic, because the setting of the game.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I am very hyped for this. I really did enjoy Breath of the Wild, and I want to go back through it again. There was so much being played at that time that my original run through was a bit soured.
I absolutely breaknecked the fuck out of that towards the back end. I've ruined it for myself. And I had a
massive gap as well. I think I sort of started it. There was like Horizon, then other stuff must have come out, and I sort of was having a bit of a lull, and then I came back to it and finished it off.
Yeah.
I've since sort of gone back and tried to do a second run through, but sort of just got distracted. Or what I did do is went back to my original save and started trying to clear down them
shrines.
Them shrines, that's it. So, but I feel it will need, because you are right that people do see this as the second coming, especially them IGN bods. Anything you hear from them, it's and Nintendo life as well. Honestly, they think this game is like the Messiah, and I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was a great game, it wasn't for me one of the, it's not.
Got me fucking sword breaking every 2 hits. How we
that is it.
You got to make you use the powers.
Yeah,
I don't want to use the powers.
No,
but the Master Sword. Why is that running out of charge? What are we doing?
Duracell batteries here. Fucking hell. You go in that fucking forest and it's chugging at about 10 miles, 10 FPS. You're like, right. Fuck me. But no, people love this game, so I can see why the hype's up. And I'd like to say I enjoy it that much, but I didn't. It wasn't one of the all-time greats for me. It was a great game, but yeah. So 2, I am quite excited for 2, just because, like you say, I just want to see how they're gonna up the ante after, seemingly there's a lot more people that don't agree with me. They agree that it was the fucking second coming. So I'm interested to see if they. But we've got no details whatsoever.
No, we've got nothing.
No weapon degradation confirmation yet. Fucking no name, like you say.
No
Jesus.
name, untitled game, sitting here at top of gaming's most.
I mean, there was fucking rumours that it weren't even linked for like half a year or a year, and then last trailer he just randomly turned around and you see his face and you go, "Oh no, it is him."
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there, but
co-op. It was, it was. I don't know. Who really knows what they've got cooking up? You just think 6 years is such a long time.
That is, yeah. I didn't realise it's been that long.
I mean, I didn't really until I sat there and did the wrong maths potentially. It might be people shouting, going, "It's not 6 years, you fucking morons!" But
and the other thing as well to mention is this will be a Nintendo Switch exclusive, potential, or maybe an even plus. But you think last time we had that Wii U crossover,
and that Wii U last gen took dragging it down. Thankfully, imagine the frame rates if that weren't keeping it in check. Try to be too ambitious. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, we must be close to some sort of reckoning in terms of information. But the worrying thing for me is that I can't believe that was 6 years ago already. It's really flushed time, isn't it?
Yeah, it was release day, wasn't it? So it was March or February?
Yeah, March,
Switch.
I think it was.
March,
late March. I can't believe 6 years has evaporated like that.
Oh, fuck, mate, that just shows you what a pandemic does to your life, doesn't it?
Yeah, he lost 2 of them. So, that's to be fair, that could well be 18 months or 2 years. They may well have really struggled to adapt.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that absolutely is something that I just had forgotten about already, as everyone else. It doesn't exist anymore, that old bug that was floating around.
We're having another disaster from last week. So it's a fire engine going past me. Yes,
That's all right.
It's all right. It's the outside world.
Not a worry. So here we have it. That's our Game is Most Wanted, and the sequel to Breath of the Wild tops it. Here's a quick rundown. So we've got Breath of the Wild, or the sequel, sorry, to Breath of the Wild at the top. Yeah. God of War Ragnarok, number 2. Number 3 is Resident Evil 4. Number 4 is The Last of Us Part 1. Number 5, Final Fantasy 16. Number 6, Starfield. Number 7, The Callisto Protocol. Number 8, GTA 6. Number 9, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Number 10, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. All 3 console platform holders represented.
Yeah.
So Phil, friend of the show, will be happy. He's normally excluded off these lists because...
Who do we... Oh, Bowser, wasn't it? I was about to say, who do we assign to
Doug,
thing?
yeah.
Let's go Reggie, but he's getting back into gaming, isn't he, Reggie?
Reggie's just touring his fucking book.
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
honestly, I reckon if I asked him to come on this podcast, he might, just in hope that he'll shift a couple more copies of that.
Love it. Oh, that'd be brilliant.
He's all over the place. He loves it. Maybe I should. But Reg, do you want to come on? Do you want to come on the Governors?
All just coming to town.
That's it. Absolutely. Do you want to quickly read off what your actual list was? I'm happy to reveal mine too. But like I said, I'll keep the others a bit of a mystery so that
let me see.
No one really knows how it's all worked out.
There's only out of 10. This is definitely the way forward, I think. I think a nice, clean 10 games, nice and neat.
So I want to cut it down to 5 and really put pressure on people.
Yeah. So I had 2 games that didn't make the list.
Okay.
I'll tell you those. So I had number 1, God of War Ragnarok. I've started now, so I left it. God of War Ragnarok, number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, Last of Us Part 1. Number 3, Resident Evil 4.
Yep.
Number 4, Final Fantasy 16. Over thing. That was my thinking with that was that it was a new game. 7. I don't know, just the what's it called? The highlight. I enjoyed 7 very much, but just that this whole new setting,
There's no baggage,
Yes,
is there?
that's it, yeah.
There's no, yeah, because Final Fantasy VII, the universe of that, and like all the companion stuff it's mind-boggling. I went down a rabbit hole in it, and I was like, oh my god, what? I thought it was just one game.
Yeah, it's an absolute fucking universe, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It
So,
actually is.
yeah,
Crazy.
you're right. There is no baggage. So that was mine. So I'm a teeny weeny bit more excited for 16 and Rebirth, but that's no dismay. For number 5, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah.
Number 6 is Telos, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2. I did have it up to 6 just because I know how much that game means to people, and I am hyped. 7, Starfield.
Yep.
Again, yep. Number 8 didn't even make the cut. Gotham Knights. Now I do have concerns that this could be a stinker, but I fucking love those Arkham games, all of them, even Origins.
Which is made. This will be made by the same team. So
same team. Even people snarled at me. Get that out. I love that game. So I am very much hyped for Gotham Knights. Can't wait for that. We got a release date not too far as well. Got it on pre-order. Lovely. Number 9, the Callisto Protocol.
Yep.
Says for itself. And last but not least, number 10, didn't get a sniff. Bayonetta 3.
Yeah. I mean, where has that game gone in the marketing cycle? It's just.
We had that logo announcement, and it was, 3 years, I think that was? I see a thing the other day, Metroid 4, and it was something like, happy 5th birthday to this logo. It was like, fucking hell. It's 5 years since it was a logo.
I know. It's madness.
I think it was the same, wasn't it the same E3 that Bayonetta was announced?
Might have been. You're right, it could have been.
We did get, last year we got an update at least anyway.
Yeah.
And it's still stated that it's going to be this year, but I don't know, we're over halfway through the year now.
Not to be trusted.
So, yeah, I don't know. I hope it comes. To be honest, I don't care when it comes, to be honest. There's so many bloody games to play. Maybe this year, because there's less this year than it certainly sounds there's going to be next year.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, I'm very much hyped, but did not cut the mustard for the others in the gang.
No, rejected
What say you?
Yep, so I had number 1, God of War, Ragnarok. Number 2, Resident Evil 4.
Ooh.
Number 3, Starfield.
Yeah.
Number 4, Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
Number 5, Rebirth.
Ooh.
Number 6, The Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah.
Number 7, The Callisto Protocol. Number 8, Breath of the Wild 2, or the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Next 2 didn't get in. Number 9, Dead Space, the remake.
Oh.
So still, despite Callisto Protocol getting a lot of chat, still interested in the actual remake. And number 10, this was never going to make any democracy voted list, but F1 Manager 2022. Is it the perfect combination of strategy and one of my favourite sports? You know, that it could be that.
It's the first, is it? It's never done this time.
I think, you know what, I think EA may have tried to do it in game once, but not to this level. Not a full simulation. I've seen like fair few videos of it, and it looks like what I want. Yeah. We'll see.
Is that scheduled for this year? Is it? Or?
Yeah, I think it's August time.
Ooh.
So yeah, 25th of August, and it's developed by Frontier, who, those that don't recognise that name, that's the Jurassic World Evolution boys and girls. Planet Zoo, I think they've done. I think they might have done Planet Coaster as well. So and I love the Jurassic World game. So
yeah,
this is very different. There won't be any dinosaurs roaring around on the tracks, hopefully. But yeah, I'm hyped about that. But then the actual racing game, F1 2022, is out in a couple of weeks. So
you're gonna
to get my fix, I might have to.
Yeah.
My idea now of those is to buy one of those every year. So one year I buy the driving game. I play that for a year. The next year I'll buy the management game.
Right, yeah,
Because these yearly
And
releases, sports-wise, can get a little bit... They do
can.
suck the energy out of wanting to go for more. But if I
Been
did...
there, that FIFA's on bloody Plus now and ain't even getting a sniff in.
No, it's too late. It's
No,
gone on
people
Game Pass as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
Fucking
they've got
hell.
it as well. But yeah, that's my idea. But this year I might end up getting both, and then
A taste a year, and then you can decide which one you're going to get. Then this.
and then next year they do all the market. They say we've made all these changes that you can't live without. And I'm like, I've got to get both again. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I need to hold strong and just not get the racing game. But too tempting. Anyway, that was gaming's most wanted. I don't know when we'll do these. I don't know if there's any set. There's no set timetable. We may, in hindsight, we should have left this maybe a couple of weeks after the sort of fake or the key free, because
Free.
a lot of the time was like, well, we talked about it last week. So if we left it a little bit longer, maybe we would have had more chat on certain objects. So that's something we're constantly going to try and evolve and tweak this.
Yeah.
There's people asking for shorter lists as well, so I don't know if that'll play nice with people. Considering that some people couldn't muster a whole 10-game list, so that's what you're dealing with. These
Google Games 2022 or 2023. There's hundreds on there. Go right that one.
But then their point was, I don't care.
Right.
I'm only giving you stuff, and I was like, okay, that makes that kind of makes sense. So we'll be back at some point. It might be 6 months or so, but it might be 3 months, because we don't want this list to come back in 2 months and be like, oh, it ain't changed. Want it to be some sort of
direct. There's got to be a direct. Nintendo are due one. They've literally just had one, haven't they? But it was a one singular game focus, so we ain't getting nothing out there.
Yeah, but no,
didn't even make the cut.
did not even get a sniff on Dimp Digital's Games Most Wanted leaderboard. I think maybe someone did put it on there.
Maybe confidentiality.
No, didn't make it.
Didn't make it. Cool.
Trouble is, you've got to have 300 hours worth of backstory for one and two.
Very true. Yeah, I've got one, and I was going to start it, but yeah, I think we did work that out, didn't we? If you wanted to go through them all.
Yeah, it would be
and then personas as well.
I know. Well, I think they are more Final Fantasy-esque.
Right.
So you don't need to go... I don't think you can even play 1 or 2 anyway for Persona, so you have to forget that idea.
Really? Get that PSP out the loft.
But Persona itself... now. Well... put it on that PlayStation Premium. Got all the PSP tit on there and the classic games. I put it on today, and I went into classic games just to have a look. It's got stuff in there like Mafia Definitive Edition. It's got they've like it's not it's not PS1 or PS2 games only. It's like they've tried to like bolster it by putting like modern. I think Bulletstorm was in there, full clip, and I was like, "That's not a classic. That's not a retro game."
Yeah, it is weird.
Jim's fucking about.
How often they're gonna update it at all?
They just said monthly, so
right.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I was going to have a little switch. I feel like I'm going to go for extra, but don't know. Sometimes you get the itch just to go, oh, fuck it, I'm going to have one of these days. I'm just going to test a load of games.
Yeah.
a demo day.
I mean, to be fair, I put it on and I downloaded, I earmarked and downloaded 3 games, but I earmarked, I think, 5 or 6 that I was actually planning to play. So that's not bad. No. Day one. I mean, no, if I go through those and I look, then there's no more, then Jim's failed, isn't he? But still pretty impressed for my own. I play a fair bit. There was still
Stray coming in a couple of weeks.
Well, exactly, yeah. All over Stray, playing as a cat. But shut it down for the week. If you make it this far, thank you. If you want to take the extra step, you know the score. Patreon.com/DimpDigital. # and in pocket.
What's it called? We get Orange Cassidy to do.
We should. We should.
That'd be fucking brilliant.
We
Just
should.
get him for a snippet of that.
I wonder if he does cameo. Get him on that.
Yeah, 30 quid. Just can you put your hand and say # hand in pocket?
Or Kurt Angle was about 80 quid, so I don't know what Orange Cassidy will be.
Just come back, the poor bugger. He's had a break.
Anyway, nothing more for us to say here other than thanks for your time and ta-da.
This was a Dimp Digital production.